Hi, Cameron McNeish Outdoors here. You know, there's a lot of us with camper vans these days, and we use them for different reasons. I love my van to bits, but it is really only a means to an end. I use it as transport and accommodation when I head for the great outdoors to do all those things that make me kind of tick as an individual. And for me, that's when I go hill walking for a few days. Or when I maybe go off somewhere special to ride my bike. Or when I blow up my pack raft and go out on the water for a bit of a paddle. Now what that means is that I tend to travel around from day to different locations. Occasionally I'll book into a campsite for a few nights at a time, but that's pretty occasional. And since I use my camper van more in the spring, autumn and winter than I do in high summer, that kind of means a lot of campsites, in fact the vast majority of campsites are closed. They're closed outside the main Easter to September period. And like me, there are many people who want to park up overnight in places well removed from others. If you're on a lay-by on a quiet road and you don't leave any waste or litter behind, then you're doing no harm at all. But sadly, campervanners this year have been lumped in with dirty campers. And there's undoubtedly been something of an epidemic of dirty camping in places like the Scottish Highlands, the lakes and North Wales and other places too, of course. And I think there are certain issues to be dealt with regarding campervans and motorhomes. Great big massive motorhomes on a single track road are not a good idea, and the dumping of waste into rivers or whatever, well, I think it should be a hanging offence. But I do believe the vast majority of campervanners behave responsibly. The big problem this year is simply that there are so many of us. And those who would normally be enjoying the airs and stellplaats of the continent have been encouraged to stay at home. We've been encouraged to stay in a country that is not set up for campervan holidays. The UK simply lacks the infrastructure. Our politicians have failed to learn lessons from our European friends. But I don't want to be completely negative. I think through all the gloom and doom about dirty camping, there are some good things happening. The Campervan and Motorhome Professional Association has successfully negotiated a great deal with Forest and Land Scotland, that's formerly the Forestry Commission, about campervans using some of the car parks for overnight stays. And that's already up and running on a trial basis. That's great. Every week I hear from community councils who are keen to put in some kind of low-cost overnight parking areas for campervanners in or near their community. And even Highland Council and the people behind the overused NC 500 are discovering ways of putting in some kind of infrastructure for campervans, and that's all good. The penny has finally dropped in official circles that campervans and motorhomes are here to stay. We're a huge potential market and we ain't going away. It's been a tough time for a lot of areas, and there are inevitably calls for bans and bylaws. I don't believe these calls will actually come to anything. There's a lot of knee-jerk reaction going on at the moment. But the crowds are going to ease off soon, particularly when schools go back and people go back to work after furlough. As more and more people feel safe about travelling abroad again, things will get back to normal here in the UK. But we really have to use this time to convince councils and local politicians and the government that we need a much bigger network of low-cost overnight parking areas with waste facilities. And of course, most important of all is that we campervanners set ourselves up as guardians of the countryside. We can pick up litter left by others and do lots of other things. Martin Dorey, who made some great teleprograms about campervanning a few years ago, has set up a thing called the 2-minute beach clean. Very successful. Couldn't we set up something similar like a 2-minute lay-by litter clean? I know many of you already do that, but more of us could be helping. And just as we are all being let down by a dirty minority at the moment, we can turn that on its head. We could be widely praised for being a clean majority. Just a thought. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the rest of the summer, wherever you choose to spend it, either abroad or here in the UK. See you later.